thing for you guys to listen to at the top of the hour here, and then we'll get to my guest for today. So, Matt Rupar, can you go ahead and get that thing live and let people hear it? Ruth Hartunian Allenbaugh here, Ravings and Cravings, inviting you to join me Mondays at 5:05 p.m. to talk about food, beverages, restaurants, caterers, entrepreneurs, ethnic grub, foodie trends and trucks, and so much more. And did I say food? Local and global, right here on Good Company, WILI, 1400 AM and 95.3 FM. I made that just for all of you because I know that you're probably all tired of listening to the other old one. Plus, I got to play the piano on that. So, this was really a DIY thing. And I had a load of fun doing that. So, listen for that. It'll be how the Ravings and Cravings is portrayed in the coming days until I get tired of that one, right? So I am here in the studio with not only Matt Rupar, but with Chef Will Deason and his wife Stephanie. So it's like buy one, get one free. It's a nice deal. I get two for the price of one. I would say, and I think the best thing I could say at the front end here is if you've ever eaten at Willie Brew, you will have been fed by Chef Deason in some way, shape, or form. And so you have fed our community for over 20 years.
And right? I am so blessed for that and so thankful for that.
Well, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. Tell us about what you've been up to recently.
What I've been up to recently, I have been part of a group that we just opened a new restaurant in Knowing called Harings. It's a seafood-based restaurant. It's all fresh-caught seafood, all locally sourced produce, locally sourced beef and chicken that we do have there. And the seafood is definitely locally sourced. Comes right in on the dock, right outside, about 50 yards from my kitchen.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
So question, can you spell herrings? Because I'm thinking what people are hearing might be the fish spelling, and I think if they want to find you, they need to get the right spelling, right?
The right spelling is Harings.
All right, and do you know, by any chance, do you know the address of it? I mean, we can quickly look it up.
The old Ford's Lobster.
But it's in Knowing. Right?
It's at Knowing. It's the old Ford's Lobster address there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The actual address, I would be making it up if I told it to you.
Oh, don't make it up.
I know how to drive right there and be right there.
That's okay. Do you, and then what are your hours there? Do you know?
Our hours, we are open daily at 11 o'clock, and Monday through Thursday, Sunday through Thursday, we are open till 8, and we are open till 9 on Saturday and on Friday.
All right, so every day of the week.
You can come visit us.
And there could be something that I could eat different every single day.
Oh, there absolutely can be.
Or I could eat the same thing every day if I loved it.
Well, that's what a lot of people do, and I don't disagree with that either.
So tell me, what's on the menu? Can you tell us some of the things on the menu? What's the most popular thing right now?
The most popular thing on our menu is lobster rolls. Lobster rolls are 3 times sold more than anything on the menu.
Interesting.
We have a hot lobster roll, a cold lobster roll. We have a special lobster roll this week with locally sourced corn, relish, and crispy fried onions on it.
That sounds good.
We have all sorts of other seafood of local flounder, scallops, clams, oysters on the half shell. Our squid is amazing that we get there.
I think squid's a little scary. But
no, this is okay. Good. I would definitely convince you of having this if you come by.
How do you prepare that?
The squid that we do there, we get in the whole squids, we just break them down, clean them, and then we put them on a sizzle platter with a little bit of butter underneath the broiler. They're topped with a butter that we call Mimi's butter, which you put that on everything in herrings. It's fantastic.
Mimi's.
It's just a flavored butter that the chef Chris there came up with. That's just absolutely to die for, and it just goes on everything and is delicious.
Okay, so question, what's the deal with this? I learned this. I'm not a New Englander, okay? So I'm a foreigner, and I came here from the foreign country of Wisconsin. We don't do lobster rolls out there. We do, but I was right by Lake Michigan. Yep. And I came out here, and I learned what's the deal with the hot and cold lobster rolls. What is that about? Why do people? Why is there two kinds?
Well, some people like that buttery, warm lobster roll that just feels good. It's just creamy, delicious, and some people like the mayonnaise herb seasoned one there.
Yeah, I
it
would
just
do the mayonnaise.
it's to each their own, and some people want like a nice warm meal. Some people want a cold meal. It depends what you're going for.
Well, yeah.
Ours is all served on toasted brioche buns that are just delicious, and it's just a good thing. And I mean, we have a thing there called biscuits and gravy, and it's amazing. It's our cheddar baked biscuits. It's topped with our bisque with fresh buttered lobster. And a bowl of just our own style of biscuits and gravy, and
That
it
sounds
is
great,
it is
too.
something to die for.
Oh my goodness. Well, after feeding the community in this area for over 20 years, what was the impetus behind going to the next chapter of your life? Like, you turn the page, you have a blank one, and now you're going to write a new kind of history. What was your impetus for doing that?
Well, we recently purchased a house, my wife and I, Stephanie, down closer to the shore area. She works for the town of Stonington as the food service director of Stonington, so her commute is that direction, and it just drew me a little bit more that way because that's where I originally come from, is Noank, the town where Harings is in. And it was kind of felt to me doing almost like a full circle of my early years of cooking and growing up also, and just coming back around in the later years of my career and being able to step back and kind of do it over again there better maybe this time than like last time. And I did great last time because look where I am now.
Yeah, it's almost like, did it feel like you were going home kind of thing?
It definitely feels like I'm going home. Going to work in the morning, I feel like I'm going home to see family every day, which I kind of am with my new family.
And when you were growing up there, did you start doing restaurant things there when you were there, or was that
No, when I
later?
grew up there, I was much younger. I learned to swim about 50 yards from where the restaurant is I
Oh,
work
my
now, which
goodness.
is really cool.
That's
Right on the
wild.
dock there is where I learned to swim, and now I work there, and I go swimming right after work a lot of times, which is a lot of fun. Within that area, working in my culinary years, it was working more as like a short order cook, working at seafood restaurants there in my late teens, early 20s, and that just got my taste buds going crazy for the culinary world of that style, and it just felt good to go back and do that again. And I just felt like now was the time, and I was given an opportunity to work with a group of extremely talented chefs that are just pushing my abilities to another level that I didn't realize I'd be able to reach, and they're helping me reach these places, and it makes me so happy.
Why don't you give a few shout outs to some of these people that you're talking about? Let's get some names out there if you don't mind.
Well, I'd like to say Chef Chris, which is
Okay.
just amazing. Nick, which is the restaurant manager there, he's absolutely amazing. And the one that tops it all is Chef Dan Messier. He's the one I believe that just started this whole thing. And then of course there's Chef Renee.
She's at the which one? At which restaurant?
She is at the Port of Call and also the Oyster Club and Treehouse.
She's at both.
They're kind of right there with each other. And Chris also, he was part of starting all those restaurants too, and they all kind of work together, and everyone has their place, and it's just amazing to be a part of that.
I'm thinking, I remember Renee's name because I was a part of the Crazies Restaurant Awards Committee. Didn't she
Yeah.
win, like...
She was nominated.
She was nominated.
She's nominated,
Yeah.
okay. She's nominated for, like, Best Chef, I
James
think.
Beard.
James Beard.
Yep.
That's big.
Yep.
That's big.
And
That's
it's
big.
it's a pleasure to be a part of a group that has such talent.
So how are they pushing you? Talk about that.
Just about every level you can there. My first task, which I hadn't made in a long time, was Chris, my first day there was go make 30 quarts of mayonnaise.
Boy.
And I hadn't made mayonnaise from scratch in a long time. And I mean, as a chef running a restaurant, you kind of get in your grooves of things that you do. And even at home with cooking, you take shortcuts sometimes. And I was like, wow, I stepped back. I was like, I haven't done this in a while. Let's do it. And I did it. And it was my first day back from my day of work, telling the wife, I was like, wow, I haven't done that in a while. And it felt really good because I just felt like a kid again, starting these things I used to do. And just writing new recipes and being part of new things and just being a part of here at Harings is just amazing for me.
Yeah, I've tried Stephanie, have you tried making mayonnaise So like I wasn't willing to try as many times as was necessary to get it right. I tried 2 times. That was not enough. I needed more practice than that. But that,
I tell you what, a burr mixer is my best friend with doing that instead of using a wire whip and whipping it by hand.
what's a burr mixer?
It's a hand mixer. That's like
Is it the same as an immersion blender?
yeah,
Same?
yeah. It basically does the same thing. So,
Oh.
but that definitely 30 years ago,
Game changer.
I didn't have that 30 years ago, and now I do, and I'm so thankful.
But
for
30
it.
years ago, like when I was at the Yukon Culinary Olympics, because
Yep.
we've both judged for
Yes, we
the
have.
Culinary Olympics, so we've sat next to each other and we've eaten really great food there.
Definitely.
When I was going through the kitchen, this one guy had one of those kinds of blenders, and it looked as big as a jackhammer.
Yeah.
And I thought, you could have used the jackhammer to make mayonnaise 30 years ago. I mean, I think you could, well, maybe.
Might have been a little more
It's a
messy.
stretch, right?
Yeah. That's all right.
What are some other food things that you've gotten to do that you've enjoyed? Any other things that you've had fun doing at all over the years? Because you've been around for a long time.
Just
you know.
getting to work with fresh product. And getting to work with fresh minds of people I get to work with. That's one of the best things that I have over the years of being a chef and a cook and everything I've done in this business. It's the people I work with and the parts of them that I've taken from them and the parts of me they've taken from me, and that we keep each other going as one in this world. And it's one thing I always said, I wanted to be immortal, and I'll be immortal through people cooking through things I've taught them, and they'll teach it to the next generation.
One generation after another.
And I love that, and it's something that I'm blessed that I have the opportunity to do, and I'm thankful. And people like you make it so I still can too, because you keep me out here.
Yay! Get you out of hiding, right?
Yeah, right.
Thank you for busting your butt to get here too. I know that you have a bit of a distance to go, so thank you.
Yeah,
for
a little
coming.
bit there, and I was lucky. Chef Chris there, he moved around his plans to make sure that I could be here, and I'm going to cover some stuff for him so he can be where he needs to be. And that's what you do. You're a team, and you help each other out.
Yeah, teamwork. All right. So at the beginning, we mentioned the name of the restaurant, where you are working, etc. Let's do that at this point for people who've just joined us, so that they don't miss out on the good stuff. So I'm here with Chef Will Deason and his wife Stephanie. Tell us about where you're working and what you have to serve at the table.
Well, again, I'm working at Harings of Noank in Noank, Connecticut, right on the Mystic River there. We have an enormous amount of fresh seafood to choose from. Fresh greens, fresh grits, locally sourced grits we have there.
Wait, how do you source grits? Like how does that work?
The ground cornmeal we get.
Where do you get that? You get that somewhere?
We get that from Davis Farm. We get our grits and our cornmeal there, and that's where we make a lot of our breadings for our dusting of our fried dishes. There's nothing bought out of a bag there that we buy some mix. We make all our mixes there of everything.
That to me is astounding. That is astounding. Is this the right place here, Harings?
That is exactly the right place.
All right.
You just brought up on your phone.
So we have the address. Guys, get your paper and pencil out, or however you want to do this. The address is 15 Riverview Avenue in Noank, Connecticut, 06340. And your hours are?
Like I said, we're open 7 days a week. We open at 11 o'clock every day. On Sunday through Thursday, we are open till 8 o'clock. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 9.
So I'm very intrigued with this idea of the from scratch.
Yes.
I honor that entirely. In fact, when I quit my day job to homeschool my children, one of the things I felt like I wanted to do was I wanted to do from scratch cooking whenever I did any cooking.
Yep.
Because I wanted to know what was in my food, and plus it was a way I could say that I love somebody.
Yep.
Because I took the
exactly.
time. I took the time to do what was necessary to feed you. And for me, my go-to, if I'm hungry, give me a bologna sandwich and I'm fine. All right. But on the other hand, I mean, if you want to do a caribou stir fry, or you want to do something that's really exotic, I'm down for all that stuff too. But the from scratch thing, this is not fast food.
No.
So like, if I want to, should I make a reservation to come here?
We don't take reservations at this point right now.
Oh, good to know.
But it is first come, first serve.
All right.
We sometimes get very busy, but just be patient. It's worth the wait. I promise you.
So the from scratch, like I would think that, let's say I order a full blown meal. So
Yep.
I get an appetizer.
Yep.
I will also get soup. I don't know if bread comes with things anymore.
No.
It doesn't. Okay, that's all right. We can.
We gotta watch our carbs, you know.
We can get the carbs somewhere else. No problem. No problem. And then I order my main meal, and I assume you have some kind of dessert. Kind of thing.
We have desserts there. Luckily,
Oh,
with this group that I work with here, we have a lot of different talented chefs there. And there's one, Courtney, she does the baking there for a lot of the restaurants.
On
And
site.
it's
Or nearby.
It's nearby in Mystic there. We have 3 desserts that we have at all times.
Key lime pie,
We have the key lime pie, of course.
rum cake.
The rum cake tart, and then the layered.
Some chocolate?
No, it is not
Creme brulee?
something chocolate. It's something
Tiramisu?
caramel. It's I cannot think of the name of it. It's a layered cake that the sailors, their wives, would make for them to send out with them, and they would last.
Dense.
They would last for days and
Oh,
weeks.
kind of like a pound cake-ish something?
Yeah, it's many layers. It's super sweet and delicious.
That
and
sounds awesome.
I highly recommend it.
Okay,
But
so-
they make this, and they also make our cheddar biscuits. She sends those to us.
Oh, from scratch.
And those are also made from scratch, and it's pretty amazing that we have all these opportunities and these people doing these things.
So I'm thinking allow at least 2 to 2.5 hours for your dining experience. What do you think?
Well, you could do that because we do have an amazing view to look and enjoy your time there.
Oh, really? There's a view too?
The view is right over the Mystic River, and I think people call it $1 million view. It's quite the scene that you will get when you go down there to enjoy yourself. You can pull up on your boat. We have areas for boats to park and come up and have service right there on your boat and bring your food to you on your boat.
That is very
You can get gas
cool.
there.
Pick up my gallon of milk and my eggs
Well,
and my
we'll work
bread.
towards something of that maybe in the
okay.
future. But
All right,
for right now, we
Sure.
have what we have.
Okay.
But I mean, you could make it an experience for hours, or we could get you in and out of there within an hour.
Really?
We pride ourselves on it's all scratch made, but we spend a lot of time before we even open getting things ready to be quickly and
Prep.
easily served.
Yeah.
And it's all about the prep time.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the way that this menu is designed, it is designed for the absolute best quality food that you could get at the quickest way that we could get it to you, and the safest.
So the
best
menu,
way.
that's wonderful. And so the menu changes.
The menu changes slightly as of right now because we just opened, but I believe the longer we're open, the more things will evolve and the more things will come in and switch up.
When did you
here and
open?
there. June 6th.
Really?
Yeah.
That only like a month ago?
Yeah.
This is that new?
It is that new.
Wow. So you know what, Matt? I'm going to pat myself on the back because I got to them first. And because I like being first. Plus there's a local guy and his wife. I mean, so we got all the good stuff right here.
You know.
July?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it takes quite a few months for a restaurant to really, I think, hit a stride. You know, especially with it's all whole new staff.
Yeah. No, it's
Or
like I
people who know
said,
each other?
there's a lot of them knew each other. A lot of them came from other restaurants that are part of the group. And it's just, the leaders of the group they're amazing people, and they work by example. And when you see someone working so hard, it's really easy just to go right next to them and work just as hard and be just as efficient. And I think that I know just that group, we're all kind of in tune like that, and we're working very well together. And things are working out very nicely.
So, have you gotten to the point where if people want to do things like gift certificates or anything like that, is that up and running at all yet, or maybe not? Because I mean, it's.
I imagine
early.
things like that are up and about right now for sure.
You think
we
so?
have
Okay.
we have T-shirts, we have hats, we have all kinds of memorabilia and things that you can get from there. We have it's quite established.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
How's parking?
Parking is good. We have quite a bit of parking, but When we get a lot of people, sometimes it can be a little crowded down in the small Noank Borough area there, but we adjust, and that's why we try to set up our food to be quick for service and quick to get out to the table. That way things can turn over and more people can come visit and have the experience that they're looking for.
So what's your favorite thing that you like to eat when you're working?
I really don't eat a lot while I work, but after work, I always love my fried whitefish. I'm a classic fried whitefish guy or baked whitefish kind of guy.
So how do you
the smash burgers there are
How do you
amazing.
season your fish? What do you put on it?
Oh, we put Mimi's butter on it. We put Mimi's butter on everything.
Who's Mimi? Anyway.
Mimi is actually Chris's wife.
Oh, interesting.
And her niece there couldn't pronounce her name and
So
called
why.
her Mimi. And Chris being the chef, and being a chef in a place like that, you can make things called what you want.
That's true.
I've had many years of doing that, and I have many more to come, and it's pretty cool that he can do that.
So it sounds like there's a lot of Mimi kind of stuff going on there. So whitefish baked or pan fried?
We can broil it for you. We can fry it for you.
And when you say whitefish, like what fish is it?
Like haddock.
Isn't cod a whitefish too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Or tilapia is a whitefish? I mean,
it could be.
So many white fishes out there.
But we try to aim for more locally sourced of the area.
Oh, okay, all right. And what about, do you guys ever have what is it? Is it called John Durgan? What is it? There was a fish that I had that was very interesting. And it was really good. I can't remember the right name, but there is another fish that I had that was very bad, and it tastes like ammonia.
Oh, jeez, that's probably spoiled fish.
No, it wasn't spoiled. It was. I actually Googled it. It said it has a ammonia kind of smell, and some people like it. And I'm like, wow, no,
You're probably not one of those people.
not me. No, and
We did have a 600-pound tuna delivered a couple of weeks ago right there at the dock. One of our fishermen guys came, and we brought it right there.
That would be.
We cleaned it. We let it bleed out for a couple of days and cut it, and we sold that at Port of Call was doing BLT sandwiches made with tuna bacon that they did there. We did all types of specials at Harings with that. But that's what I mean. It's that fresh. It comes right in, and we have so many different mines there that just different specials come out of each place with the same product.
Herring, spelled Harings. Guys, I have got to go there. If any of you out there want to go, maybe we could have a little field trip sometime. But I got to sign off for today. This is Ruth Hartunian-Allenbaugh, Ravings and Cravings, signing off on Good Company, WILI.